Hey, Samantha! What's the big idea? Nobody told me you were tying the knot with my brother so soon. I wound up hearing from my mom just now. I was shook, Samantha. Shook! You should have let me know already.
Aw, I'm really sorry. We couldn't really find a time later in the year that worked for us both, so we moved the date up a little. You know how it is. David and I are both so busy going here and there for work that it's hard to pin down a time when we're both in the same place. This was the only day that we both had time to go and put in the paperwork together.
You could have at least waited until I was around. I feel like I deserve to say in this. If you've already submitted the paperwork, then I guess that means... Oh no, it really does. It means you're my sister-in-law now.
Well, yeah, I guess it does now that you mention it. Tina, did we do something wrong? No offense, but it doesn't exactly sound like you're happy for us to be family.
Of course I'm not happy. I was never in favor of you marrying my brother. I would have objected. I can't believe you just went ahead and signed the forms anyway. That's so unfair, Sam.
Huh? Wait, what? You didn't want us to get married? Well, I never really got the impression that you had a problem with me. Did I do something to offend you?
Well, I was all for it to begin with. But the more I thought about it, the more the whole thing just bugged the heck out of me. Now that you've married my brother, we're sisters-in-law. That basically makes us real sisters. And I don't want an ugly duckling like you for a big sister. That's so gross.
What?
You do know that I'm a famous model, right, Sam?
Well, yeah, I guess I do remember hearing something like that. But it's a bit much to call it modeling, no? Isn't it just little things? Posing as a subject for amateur photography classes and stuff?
Oh my God! That's so rude! You're calling me a fraud, aren't you? I can't believe this. The nerve!
I didn't mean it like that.
I mean, you're from out of town, so maybe you haven't heard of me. But I'm actually super famous all around the city. I'm basically the top model here. I even won a totally famous beauty contest at my community college. How many of those have you won, Sam? Plus, a really famous local company wanted me to be the face of their brand. It was a really big deal. And I've been on TV like 3 times. You think some phony model could do that?
Oh, that's, very impressive.
You don't know what it's like to be as famous as me. I'm going to be a laughingstock if people find out I have an ugly sister-in-law like you. My life will be ruined. Everyone in my family is hot. My dad, my mom, my brother, and especially me. We all have looks to die for. What do you think will happen when some uggo like you joins the family? Coming from a beautiful family is a huge part of my branding. How do you think that's going to look now?
Your branding?
If people find out my sister isn't hot, I'm finished. It won't make the slightest difference that you're just an in-law. I have fans, Sam. Now they're all going to leave me.
Oh, come on. I'm sure that none of your fans are that shallow.
Of course they're that shallow, Sam. Jeez, you're so naive. I have 10,000 followers. I'm a huge deal online. And plenty of those fans aren't going to accept anything less than perfection.
10,000 followers? Really? Wow. I had no idea. That's genuinely impressive for someone who isn't even with an agency.
Who needs an agency? I have everything I need to be a huge success on my own, thank you very much. But that's exactly why my branding is so important. You get it now, right? Look, I'll cut to the chase. If you're going to be my brother's wife, then you better not get in my way. Are we clear? Go do something about that ugly face of yours. Get surgery or something. I won't have you ruining my career.
Hey, David. We really need to talk. Did you know that Tina didn't want us to get married? I had no idea, but it turns out she really hates the idea. Did you hear anything about it? Did your mom say anything? Or anyone else in the family?
What? Really? That's nuts. I haven't heard a word about any of that. Not from my parents, and definitely not from Tina.
She got in touch with me earlier today, and, well, let's just say it wasn't the nicest conversation. She was furious that we had signed the forms to make our marriage official without asking her first, and told me she would have never agreed.
Jeez, why does she care so much? It's not like she's the one getting married. Plus, she was so happy when we told her, right? Talking about how glad she was to see her big brother finally find someone nice.
I asked her that too. Seems she's had a bit of a change of heart. She told me she didn't like me because I was ugly and didn't want me in the family.
What the?
She works as a model, doesn't she? That seemed to be the problem. She was saying I wasn't pretty enough to be the sister-in-law of a famous model like her. She said if we had already made the marriage official, then I would have to get surgery or something before the ceremony to help her save face. What am I supposed to do here, David?
Wait, that's all? That's no big deal. Seems like a pretty simple solution to me, to be honest. Why don't you just go and get surgery like she asked?
Wait, what? David!
Jeez, I was so worried when you said she didn't want us to get married. I didn't expect it'd be something that simple. I guess she's always been kind of vain when it comes to her looks. It's pretty on brand for her. Try to cut her some slack, okay? Don't be too hard on her.
Well, I'm glad you find this so funny. Come on, David. Someone just told your wife that she was ugly. Don't you care? It's one thing for her to say it, but I can't believe even you're telling me to go and get surgery now. Do you think I'm ugly too, then?
Well, ugly is kind of harsh, yeah. But you're not exactly a beauty, sweetie. Looks-wise, I'd be lying if I said you were anywhere near as pretty as she is.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Look, I agree that she was a bit too blunt. But look on the bright side. This can be a good opportunity to up your game. Why don't you pick up some tips from her? You can get her to help you learn makeup or show you the best diets. There's nothing that'd make me happier than seeing you grow into the gorgeous wife I know you can be. I'm all in favor of the surgery, too.
What's wrong with you? I thought you'd take my side and get mad when I told you what she had said. But instead you're taking hers and telling me to get surgery? Fine, if you're so set on me getting surgery, how about you pay for it? You can pay all the upkeep costs for it 10 years down the line, too.
Why should I have to pay? It's not like it's my fault. It's your fault for having the face you do. People wouldn't tell you to get surgery if you didn't need it.
What? What are you saying, David?
Look, Sam, I married you because I love you. I really do. It's just... I'd love you even more if you were pretty. Don't you want to be pretty for me? Oh, just make sure to push back the wedding day a little if you do decide to get the surgery. You need time to recover first. I don't want to be standing on the altar with a wife who looks like she fell into a beehive on the way to the venue. Ha!
Hey, Samantha. It's the big day today. I guess it's finally time for you to marry my brother. I hope you got that surgery after all. You'd better have. It's been 3 months since you signed the marriage certificate. I expect you to have gotten rid of that little fat tummy you had, too.
Nope. No surgery, no diet. I'm just as chubby and ugly as I was the last time you were yelling at me. And you know what? I like it that way. I'm happy with who I am. I might not be the perfect pin-up you wanted me to be for the ceremony today, but I'm going to do it my way.
Jeez, no way. You're the worst. Don't you see I was trying to help you? You won't know you're ugly unless someone has the guts to tell you. I did you a favor. I can't believe you haven't made even the slightest effort. After all I did, Sam.
No, Tina, you're the worst. Do you even realize how rude you've been to me? How awful the things you said were? You're lucky I'm nice and chose not to tell your parents. I doubt they would have been happy. Pfft.
What's wrong with telling a major league uggo that she's ugly? You're going to regret not listening to me. Enjoy your big day.
Huh?
I got up really early this morning and handed in a little divorce request for the two of you. Oops. Looks like you're not married anymore. Sorry about that. Guess we're not related now, sis. Oh no. My heart is breaking.
What the heck, Tina? Are you serious? You really handed in a request for a divorce on our behalf?
Sure did. They accepted it and everything. Game over. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Here comes the bride, and oops, there she goes again. No more wedding. Aw, but you did make all those preparations, didn't you? How about we change things up and call it a divorce ceremony? You can still have a big day.
You're bluffing. You must be. You can't do this to me. You can't just go and get a divorce on someone else's behalf, Tina. Do you think this is a joke or something? Do you even realize what you've done here?
Of course I do. If I wasn't totally sure that this was the right thing to do, I wouldn't have handed it in the first place. I know my brother, and I know that he deserves someone so much cuter and cooler than you. And you know what? I've actually found the perfect person. So I guess we're going to sub you out as bride today. Instead, I've brought along a friend that I just know David will love. His real bride-to-be.
Wait, what? Are you actually matchmaking for your brother on his wedding day? Seriously?
I'm friends with a lot of more experienced models. And one of them is just awesome. She's a total babe and has like 20,000 followers. She's perfect. And just the kind of sister-in-law a girl like me needs. Nothing like you at all. Plus, as luck would have it, she's even looking to meet someone nice at the moment. I actually introduced him yesterday.
Tina!
My brother's really popular, you know. Handsome, charming, a successful career at a big company. So my girl decided to go all out and came to the ceremony in a wedding dress of her own. Awesome, right? I took her by the groom's waiting room earlier, and my brother was totally swooning. It's nice to see that someone knows how to pull off a wedding dress, at least.
This is ridiculous. Wait, back up there. You mean she's already with David?
Yep. So you're not needed anymore. Run on home now, you ugly wannabe wife. There'll be no wedding today.
This is also stupid. It sounds like the script to some terrible TV show. First you hand in a divorce request. Then you bring along a friend and try to get her to hook up with my husband. And now you're telling me David is in love with her? Didn't anyone try to stop you? Did nobody kick you out?
Why would they? I'm the little sister of the groom, don't you know? Like I told you before, I'm kind of a big deal. And her dress was gorgeous. She looked so good in it. Nobody could take their eyes off her when we were walking to the waiting room.
Oh, I see. All the guests too, huh? That must have been something.
So you get it, right? There'll be no wedding ceremony today. We're having a divorce ceremony instead. And unfortunately, the ugly ex-wife isn't part of the show. So you can go on home now. Bye-bye.
You'll live to regret this, you know.
Huh?
You handed in fake divorce papers on my behalf. That was a big, big mistake. And bringing along a date for my husband to our wedding? Seriously? What did you think would happen? Just how much of the stupidity are you going to pull before you're satisfied? Enough is enough. I'm done. I won't take it anymore.
Ooh, so scary. The kitty has claws. I'm surprised you're not hunched over crying big ugly tears to match your big ugly face. In fact, my friend and I would love to see that. It'd be hilarious. Come on now, cry for us.
Who do you think you're talking to? Do you really think an idiot like you is ever going to make me cry? You're a loser, Tina. I've seen enough of your nonsense now to know that I'm not interested in marrying into any family that you're a part of. And I don't need a husband who doesn't even know how to stick up for his wife when she's being mistreated. Getting divorced sounds pretty great to me right now, in all honesty. I should really thank you.
Huh! You act tough, but I know better. I bet this is totally tearing you up inside. You're probably quietly screaming right now. It was rich of an uggo like you to ever believe she could marry my brother. You should learn your place already. He needs a babe like my friend. He deserves so much better than you. Things were never going to work out for the two of you anyway. I mean, talk about an odd couple.
Sure, whatever. Honestly, after all this, I'm not sure I even have any feelings left for David now. So you know what? Do your worst. Pretty sure the honeymoon tomorrow will be off too. A shame, but I guess I'll just be heading off to work like usual. Oh, come to think of it, I don't think I ever mentioned where I work, did I? It must have slipped my mind. I work for an agency. An agency that I'll be quite sure to get you and your lovely friend blacklisted from as soon as I arrive at work tomorrow. You'll be banned from all of our auditions. And I'll make quite sure to tell all our talent to have nothing to do with either of you. We can't have you being a bad influence now, can we?
Wait, your talent?
As an oh so famous model yourself, I'm sure you'll be quite familiar with my employer. I work for Green & Green Inc., one of the biggest entertainment agencies in the country. I'm actually their general manager, now that I think about it. Imagine that! An uggo like me.
What? Wait. Green & Green Inc.? They're huge! Like world-famous magazine cover huge! That famous movie actress, what was her name? And the artist with all those number ones, they're all signed to Green & Green.
Oh, so you have heard of us. I guess you are a famous model after all. Figures that you would have picked up a thing or two.
Of course I've heard of Green & Green. They were my first choice if I ever joined an agency. I used to dream about it and everything. You're trying to tell me that you work there? No way. I don't believe this. My brother never even mentioned. He should have told me.
It's not something I usually tell people. There are a lot of folk out there who would love to take advantage of a manager at a big entertainment firm, you know. Everyone wants to introduce you to their talented friend that you just have to sign. As far as David and my friends know, I just work for a company that provides temporary staff for external projects. It's easier that way.
No way!
It's not a total lie, right? We really do provide temporary staff. I just leave out the fact that they're actors and musicians. If you ask me, I'm being quite honest, really.
God, Sam! It's like I don't even know you. You could have told me sooner! My friend and I have always talked about how we wanted to join Green & Green. It's like our biggest dream. That's literally why we got into modeling in the first place. We've been working our butts off.
Oh, if only I had known. Think of all the things I might have done to help. Tragic, really. Here, why don't I play you a song on the world's smallest violin? Once I stick you on our blacklist, you're as good as done with our agency. You'll never get a job with us again. Forget jobs. You won't even make it to our auditions. Nobody will give you a chance. What a shame.
Oh my God! This is so unfair!
Well, I'd better be off. You've made it quite clear that you don't want me at this wedding after all. Make sure to say hi to that lovely friend of yours for me. Give her my best regards.
Please, Sam. Just wait a bit longer. You can't just waltz out of the venue like this. What am I supposed to do? Are you seriously trying to tell me that the wedding is off? This is ridiculous.
Your sister already handed in the papers for our divorce. I don't see many divorced couples throwing wedding parties. Do you? If you ask me, this is the most sensible course of action.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with me. I didn't know she was going to go and do something like that. It was all Tina's doing, I swear. She was just pulling a silly prank. Look, all we have to do is fill in our wedding papers again. It's not that hard. Then everything will be back to normal, right? So let's just have the ceremony now, like we planned.
Oh, so now you're suddenly keen to marry me. That's funny. A little bird told me that just a few minutes ago, you were getting hot and bothered with my replacement bride over in the waiting room.
No, I mean, that wasn't like that. You've got it all wrong, Sam.
I'm sure Tina's friend must have looked gorgeous in her wedding dress. It must have been quite the pretty picture.
Oh, come on, Sam. Quit sulking. You're acting like a child. What's wrong with admiring a beautiful woman in a gorgeous dress? How can you expect me to look away from something like that, huh? Trust me, though. I was just looking. That's it. I never once thought that I wanted to divorce you.
Oh, you were just looking, were you? Come on, David. That's bad enough in itself. Surely you know that. You've already burned your bridges here.
What?
You don't stand up for your wife when your sister treats her like she's some hideous monster. And when your little sister hands in divorce papers on your behalf on your wedding day and brings along a literal replacement bride, you don't even scold her. You just sit there smiling like an idiot, admiring the pretty girl in the dress. You really think I can trust someone like that? You think that's the kind of man I want to marry? Not a chance. I've had quite enough of being your wife already, thank you very much.
Sam, please.
But it's so nice for you that your lovely little sister brought you along a gorgeous new bride. I'm quite happy to divorce you as planned, so don't you worry about me. Go ahead and marry her instead. I hope you live happily ever after.
You're happy to divorce me? Sam, it's not that simple. What do you want me to do about this whole ceremony, huh? What about our friends, our parents? They've come all this way to see a wedding. They're already at the venue. How can you possibly expect me to explain this alone?
That's not my problem, idiot. It's yours. You obviously had plenty of time to waste gawking at that other girl earlier. So I'm sure you'll figure something out. Use your brain.
Samantha, please don't do this. You're making a mistake. I'm begging you. Don't blacklist me. I need this so much. You're ruining all my dreams. My friend absolutely blew up when I told her the news. She's completely lost it. Everything is so messed up. And my brother. He was so happy and into her just a moment ago, but he's totally snapped out of it. He's yelling at me. He keeps telling me he would never marry someone like her. And that just made her even angrier.
I'm sure it did. You've made quite the mess here, after all. I'm sure she's hardly happy to have the man she thinks she's going to marry turn around and tell her he hates her guts. Not that she's really a victim here, though. Sneaking into someone else's wedding in a wedding dress of your own is hardly a classy move now, is it?
Why are you making it sound like you're not totally responsible here? This all started with your wedding. My friend is on the point of calling her ex-boyfriend now. She keeps yelling about how she'll bring him here.
Her ex-boyfriend? Why would she want to call him? It doesn't exactly sound like they're close.
I heard rumors that he was caught up in some really shady stuff. Street gangs and stuff.
Gangs?
And she broke up with him to come to the wedding today. She literally dumped him for this. But my brother isn't going to marry her. And now she's about to get blacklisted. She's furious. She says she's going to tell her boyfriend that she's being forced into an arranged marriage. If he comes here, my brother could get seriously hurt. The guy is really dangerous. We could be driven out of town. We might even have to change our names.
Wow, that's a real dumpster fire you've got going there, Tina. I'm honestly impressed. But thank you for sharing that wonderful information with me. You've just given me the last piece of the puzzle. It'll be so much easier for me to get the two of you blacklisted now.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
That boyfriend of your friend sounds like quite the character. A real modern gangster. But I'm afraid that the entertainment industry doesn't look kindly on aspiring talents that are caught up with criminals. A shame. The industry has really tightened up on that sort of thing these days, you know. Any suspicion that someone is caught up in something a little shady, and they'll be turned away at the door.
What?
Even established talents that are already signed can have their contracts terminated very quickly over things like that. So I guess that's the final nail in the coffin for your hopes of ever joining our industry.
This can't be happening. I'm dreaming.
Actually, that's the sort of black mark that can make things difficult at all the big industries, now that I think about it. It's not just us. And word travels very fast in the entertainment biz. I suspect you're going to find it very hard to find a job going forward, even with that pretty face of yours.
I'm finished. It's over. Nobody is even going to give me a look now. My career is done. This is so unfair.
Oh, come on, don't be blue. Dry those tears. There are plenty of successful independent models out there these days. I thought you said you didn't need an agency. Plus, you have 10,000 followers. I'm sure you'll figure something out.
I damned well won't, and you know it. There's no happy ending here, Sam. I paid for all of those followers. They're just bots. How am I supposed to make a living off of bots?
But you were so proud of that follower count. You mean to tell me you paid for them all from a company?
I just figured that if I had a high follower count and looked like I was popular, things would all come together. My friend said she bought about 5,000 when she was getting started too. And she was so successful. So I thought it'd be a good idea if I bought a few followers too.
Right. 10,000 bots is definitely a few followers. Totally normal logic there.
Please, Sam. I'm really begging you. I need this. I'll apologize. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just don't blacklist me. I'm sorry I ruined your wedding ceremony. I'm sorry I called you ugly. Hey, I'll pay you money if you like. As much as you want. Just please, forgive me. Let me off this once.
Nope, not a chance. I think we're done here. I have more important places to be.
No!
I need to start notifying people of the divorce. I'll have to change my second name back, too. I'll leave you lovely people to sort things out with the venue. Goodbye, Tina. It seems that not too long after that, Tina's friend called in her gangster boyfriend and everything went quite mad. The guy started smashing things and screaming, demanding to see the man who had stolen his girl away. Tina and David both pulled through in the end, but word is the guy didn't pull his punches, and both of them had to be taken away in an ambulance by the end of the day. Tina's friend and her lovely Prince Charming eventually wound up in police custody. I'm sure the cops are taking good care of them. But Tina had it harder. The whole incident traumatized her, and I heard she's quit her modeling work now. Rumor has it she's become a total shut-in and spends her time streaming on social media these days. To a very small viewer count, naturally. She is, to put it politely, yet to hit the big time. And the wedding fees, I hear you say? David wound up footing the whole bill. The whole incident has left him with no money and no friends. Tragic, really. Oh well. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more content like this. It really helps the channel out. See you next time!